urging you to be law-abiding, to be systematic in you doing whatever you are doing, does not infringe on the other person's rights.
Why are things going haywire? Yet initially, there's been largely a peaceful campaign trail.
One is that the good thing is you gave me a scenario presented by Mr. Wampamba, who was at the scene. I was not at the scene. I cannot be able to commit myself to say things are going out of order. However, if that is the way the things, if that's the way things are, I would regard them as operational challenges. But remember, out of 35 days, we want to glorify and now assume that things are going out of order on one instance. Please allow me, do you know that there are 100 involved?
I don't buy the idea that it's been a peaceful campaign, because since day one I've been in courts trying to rescue hundreds of supporters of NUP from day one. From Natete, the opening rally, the nomination rally, we had over 58 detained by them in the first rally was in Natete. In Natete, over 58. Had to get 20 out of detention from police cells. Then we had to go to Mengo Court to get others out on very flimsy charges that can never be sustained. So it is not true that this campaign has been as peaceful as Norbert Mao wanted us to believe. It is as violent as other elections have been. It's only getting uglier by the day.
What's the latest account?
The latest account is
more says there's no clear record on how many were arrested.
Indeed, there is no clear record, because if you are in the field like I've been, you realize that we have different security forces picking people. Some are in plain clothes, others in police clothes, others in SFC clothes, others I don't know in what, JAT clothes. So you cannot say we can account. But by the time I left Mbarara, I'll tell you more than 100 people had been detained.
Where?
For over 48 hours, they had been detained in Mbarara. But when we raised the alarm that it was illegal to continue holding them, that they would rather produce them in court, then instead of taking them to court, they had to distribute them in different cells in that region, I believe. And we're on the hunt trying to establish who is where and for what charge. You know for certain there is no lawful detention when a person is in campaigns, so they are fidgeting. I find my colleagues, lawyers in the DPP's office and the state attorneys at pains. What is the charge? That's where the confusion gets in. They pick people, throw them in, then try fidgeting and looking around for what charge
Let's talk the law. Let's take the law. When I told Afana Mliterwa that they've been detained beyond 48 hours, which is illegal, he said, according to which law?
I'm not surprised that he started on the defensive, because anyone in his shoes, I would imagine, if you are taking orders from a commander-in-chief who is a candidate, and a violent one at that, emitting violence against an opponent, then I do not think he's at peace and at liberty to say the truth.
Have you addressed yourself to the police letter? The police press release indicates that the persons who were arrested had been trailed for a while on charges of assault and theft.
We've had all this for long. How many such charges in our political history have been sustained by police? Is it the first time that police has said so? How many have ever seen the light of day in court? It is simply a political statement made by an extension of the regime that the police is.
Don't you look awkward when you come out to say that the persons who've been arrested assaulted officers, yet in broad daylight there are a number of men who were clad in yellow t-shirts, NRM t-shirts, in Chiruhura, brandishing sticks and fighting NUP supporters, and police looked on?
Now, the good thing is that you've decided to bring this conversation into an interrogation. I don't know whether this interrogation is prosecution or fault finding or ensuring that if there are
It's a
any
conversation.
No, it is going beyond a conversation that you are rather trying to put me in a decade to prove whether our actions are right or not. I believe if we are to enjoy this discussion and ensure that whatever we are doing...
And I think that's essentially why you're here.
No, why I'm here...
why are you here?
Give me an opportunity to express and explain things are basing on the
No,
procedure.
you're not answering any question. You're just meandering.
Let me meander if that's the way you can satisfy what you
We are here for a serious discussion.
Okay. Now, if the matter is, when you begin putting me in a docket to begin answering what is obvious, then because when you begin talking about custody, do you mean to say that police is not meant to put people into custody? Two,
police is holding people beyond 48 hours.
Get me. That is a different story. That is a different whatever. When you begin talking about charges, whether trumped up or not trumped up, who makes the charges? Is it the police or it is the police to be faulted because it is executing its mandate? So please, members, if we want people to become more law-abiding and also ensure that whatever we are doing is in conformity with the procedures laid down. One, those procedures are not meant for me alone. They are meant for all of us. Two, anyone whose involvement in any political campaign does not make such a person above the law. Three, when you are suspected of having committed an offense, then you are held responsible and therefore you are invited to the police. The good thing is that I am hearing from you that people who are suspected are at police. So that is another thing which we need to find out. Police is an organization which is formal, which is leading in ensuring that
how does
law and order
police
is
explain to the country that people have been held beyond the mandatory 48 hours?
One, I am not so sure of when they were arrested.
They were arrested on Friday. Okay, what do you know and what don't you know?
One, I was not at the forefront because you see the problem you brought to Wampamba, giving you a live story from where he was. Did you give me that opportunity to express when I was there? You wanted me to respond to what Wampamba was saying. Was I on the ground there? No. Therefore, one, give me an opportunity to verify from my personnel, and I'll come back and do it. I am here to answer what I'm telling you. I mean to explain what I'm telling you. I am going to come back and explain after I've verified. That is what Wampamba said. I am going to seek for a feedback from our personnel who are on ground to explain vis-a-vis. And that would be a better answer.
Where things stand now, police is being accused of witch hunting the opposition.
I want to give total commitment on my behalf, on behalf of the organization, and of which I want to echo the words of my Inspector General Police. One, police is totally committed to be neutral.
Where is neutrality? When in Chiruhura, you could allow men brandishing sticks.
All of those are your words. I've told you I would not want to comment on what I was not party. So you want me to begin answering what you saw, what you were, where you were. I was not there. So where I was not, then I cannot be able to begin answering that. You are asking me what I want to explain to you, and which is a total resolute and commitment from the police management led by the Inspector General Police, Haji Abbas Byakagaba. We are committed to being neutral. We are committed to ensuring that these general elections are peaceful, stable, and normal, except for individuals who would want to be overboard. We shall then be able to bring them to
Council Moizi, are these suspects necessarily innocent?
Well, first, I'll tell him why he's here.
I'll draw you to the police charge, the police statement as well, which will be relayed on air shortly.
No, first, I'll tell him why he's here. Afande is here for accountability to Ugandans. He's here to account to Ugandans, including a presidential candidate whose public address system, if you had to take it that low, is blocked by police, a public address system. You see how low it can get. He's here to account why people who are the team of the Honorable Kyagulanyi is the one in the cells and not those people who are wearing yellow shirts and others in Kiruhura. He's here to account because when he states that the Honorable Kyagulanyi and others are not above the law, presidential candidates, is he saying those people in Kiruhura are above the law? He's here to account why there is selective application of violence and the law and charges and apprehending. Are we to state that everyone supporting Kyagulanyi is committing illegalities and not the other side? He's here to tell us why they are not resorting to the Electoral Commission, which is manning the election, to understand the excesses. When we are in an election like this one, the Electoral Commission has a say in who is performing electoral offenses. He's here to tell Ugandans why they are witch hunting the Honorable Kyagulanyi in uniform. But I know there's a lot that he cannot state because police is not in charge. And even if police was to be in charge, their commander-in-chief is in an election. And they have a commander-in-chief who is violent from day one. Since he came into power, he came through violence. He has ruled through violence. He's running elections using violence unapologetically.
Okay, you've been in court on a number of cases defending opposition suspects. How unique is this scenario from the past?
No, I'll tell you, it's just the same song. That is why we are into this election to rally the people. What we are doing is to ensure that against this brutality, the people can rise up.
Do you have a clear record on how many have been arrested and how many are missing?
Particularly, at least if you are to talk about court, we've been in courts for over 230 people since the election started. In Mityana alone, 80. In Nateta, I told you 58. In Wakiso, we had 60. In Mbale, there were more than 100. You know, in Gulu, everywhere we've had people. We are actually overwhelmed. I think it's a tactic actually to overstretch.
Innocent, with the accusation